Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today. We have a special host here, Michelle, the migraine nurse. My name is Kiara, and I'm here with CEFALY. Michelle, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi guys, I'm Michelle. You may know me on social media as the migraine nurse. There I love sharing tips and tricks about migraine, things that personally helped me. And I also love just sharing my journey of how I went from having chronic migraines to now being more episodic, and it being just such a smaller part of my life. I also love just sharing about my life as a new mom and yeah, just all the fun stuff that comes with it.
Congratulations on your new
Thank
baby.
you.
Today, we're going to talk about a different type of migraine.
Mhm.
In your case, we're going to speak about hormonal migraine. So thank you so much. If you guys have any questions, make sure you drop them in the comment section and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. So, yeah, let's get started. I'm very excited about this.
Yeah.
Um, my first question is, when were you first diagnosed with hormonal migraine?
Yeah, so hormonal migraine, a lot of people experience it. It's kind of like a subtype to migraine, so a lot of women do experience it. For me personally, I actually started getting migraines around when was going through puberty. So for as long as I can remember, hormones have like played a role. Um, and I've told my doctor about them and things like that. And they're like, oh yeah, it's like pretty normal, like for women to experience hormonal migraine like around their period. So honestly, it's always been a part of like my migraine journey.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. I feel like a lot of women in the migraine community can definitely relate to that dreadful time of the
Yeah.
month.
Makes it even more fun, right?
Right? Oh my God. As if being a woman wasn't hard
Yeah.
enough already, but yeah. And what about symptoms? What can you describe what a migraine attack feel like for you?
Yeah. So for me, I get the one-sided temple pain and it does switch sides. It kind of just like depends on the day, which I always kind of find fascinating. And then I also just get sensitive to light and nausea. When my migraines were like a lot worse and I had them just more often, I remember my symptoms were worse. So I'd get like back of the head pain, I get blurry vision. But now that my migraines are more mild, less often, I would say my symptoms just have really just been like, yeah, the one-sided head pain, the nausea, and then the sensitivity to light.
Thank you. Thank you for
Mhm.
sharing. Of course, for everybody is different, but
Yes.
yeah, thank you so much for sharing.
Hmm.
Let's talk about prodrome,
Yeah.
which is the earliest warning phase of an attack. For everybody wondering, how do you experience prodrome and what do you do when it begins?
Yeah. So usually before I get a migraine or like the attack phase happens, like the head pain and all that fun stuff, I usually just get like this overwhelming feeling of just like, oh, I like don't feel good. And then I also, the lights will just become like super bright. So if I'm like at work, I'll notice like my computer screen super bright all of a sudden. I'll notice when I'm like downstairs in the kitchen, I'll start turning off lights. And my husband's like, what are you doing? Like, I need the light on. And I'm like, whoa, like, did you like change the light bulbs? And he's like, no, you're probably getting a migraine. Like, do you know what I mean? And still, like, to this day, sometimes I get so caught off guard. Or I'll even like be at like a restaurant or something. I'll be like, oh, these lights are like really bright. And that's usually how I know like one is starting. And so just try to get ahead of it. I usually just like stop and like try to like drink electrolytes. If I haven't eaten in a while, I'll try to like have like a snack because I always feel like food helps. I don't know why. I'm probably the only person who ever says that. So have like my migraine glasses, especially at work. Like I'll wear those. And then that's also when I'll start thinking like, ooh, is my CEFALY device charged? Like, should I start grabbing it? And things like that.
It's so hard to recognize these
Mm-hmm.
little symptoms and stuff like that, right? Like I feel
Yeah.
like for everybody is different. Everybody has a different experience. And once you learn and you get
Yeah.
to understand your the details that are linked to your migraine experience, they make it a little bit more accessible to
Yeah.
find a way to manage them.
Because it
So
can be so mild. So like at first you might not even notice it until
yeah.
you start like thinking about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely. Let's speak about hormonal in this case. How do hormonal changes influence your migraine?
Yeah, so you guys all know I had just had a baby, so I haven't had my period in a while, but prior to pregnancy and prior to that, I remember like when my period would come just like a few days before, I'd get just more like intense migraines. Like it would be harder to treat, less responsive to meds. And then it was like a hit or miss. I'd sometimes get one around ovulation as well. During pregnancy, I would say my migraines did tick up a lot, especially during like the first and second trimester. I've been very vocal about sharing my experience about that on social media. And then during the third trimester, like when the hormones more like stabilize out, I had like a great time. I was like, I'm big, but I feel like mentally, like with my migraines, just so much better. I get like one a week. And then now that I'm in like the postpartum phase, I've been only getting like one a week, which I feel really blessed and thankful for because I wasn't sure what to expect. I honestly thought that they were going to get worse again, but yeah, I feel really lucky.
Well, that's great. That's
Yeah.
good to hear. Oh, well,
Mhm.
also postpartum is really like the unknown phase. You
Yes.
never know what's gonna happen in your symptoms in general, and of course your migraine symptoms as well. So I'm really glad to hear that. Although would rather not have any attack,
I know.
but it's still a win to have once a day.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, what about misconceptions? What are some of the misconceptions linked to hormonal migraine?
People think that it's like so normal to have migraines around your period. Like that's just like a normal thing. It's a woman's thing. Like there's nothing you can do about it. And you kind of just have to like live with it. And I think that's just such a misconception because there's actually just like a lot of things that you can do to help make it either like more mild, more manageable, or even just like having a game plan.
There's so many misconceptions about women's health in general.
Yeah, that's very true.
But yeah, let's speak about, do you feel comfortable sharing your secrets, aka your migraine toolkit, and what you do
Yes.
to manage your migraine?
Yes. So when I get a migraine attack personally, I like to like try non-med options first. It's just more like a personal experience or personal like preference, just because in my migraine journey when they were chronic, I would just fall into rebound headaches like so easily. So I think just to help manage that, I'm like natural first. If that doesn't work, we can always take meds later. That's just how my brain kind of works and thinks. So I always like drink electrolytes. If you guys follow me on social media, you know I'm always drinking electrolytes. I love them. And then I also have like ginger in my toolkit, which I haven't taken in a while just because of like pregnancy and stuff like that. CEFALY is definitely at the top of the list. I love how it's so soothing. Exactly. Because I feel like a lot of people don't realize like even when you put it on, you might not get relief for like an hour because that's how long the session takes. But during it, you're gonna, to me at least, it feels so just like soothing and comfortable where I can like tolerate my migraine a lot better. So that's really nice. It also helps to remind me I need to sit down and relax too, because you can't really be up and moving and while you're wearing it, which I think
Agree.
is a good reminder.
Take it easy,
Um,
girl.
yeah. And then I also, I love like the peppermint oil roll-on sticks. I always like have one in my purse, like the size of a chapstick. These are great because you can apply it to like your temple pain, like if you're out and about and you're like, oh, what should I do? I don't have like an ice pack or a CEFALY, you know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
it's just nice. You can like apply it to your temples. You can use it for like aromatherapy as well for nausea, which is really helpful. I also have like a freezer full of ice packs, all different kinds. Those are always nice. And then like when I was pregnant, one thing I used that I absolutely loved for like the hard days was like a weighted sleep eye mask, which yeah, it just like felt so good to have something weighted on my face because like the temple pain, and then I could like go to sleep because those ones during pregnancy are just hard, you know? So yeah, just a lot of fun stuff.
And the fun part is that you can use a lot of these things together. So,
Yes, exactly. You don't have to just use one. You can, yeah, use a combination for sure.
it's funny because when we post on social media or simply like, when we communicate with our community or somebody that
Yeah.
wants to join our community and they see our device, they're like, what's that? Not a lot of
Hmm.
people know about that. Neuromodulation is a thing, and there are alternative treatments like CEFALY to medication. That doesn't prevent you from using your medication because, as we always say, you have to do what works for you. But
Exactly.
are other options, to explore. So I'm curious. You've been using CEFALY for a minute now.
Yes. A
Uh,
few years.
a few years, right? You
Yeah.
had the enhanced or the dual first?
Which is the older model's the dual,
The
right?
little gray
Yeah,
one.
I had the little one first, and then I got the upgraded
So
later
you're like
on.
the OG, one of the OGs. There was also like a crown back in the days, but now
Mhm.
we have our Cephally Connected, which connects to the CC app. So our technology has evolved so much. But I'm curious, how did you first find out about Cephally?
Yeah, so I found out about CEFALY. I was actually reached out to on like social media, like, hey, would you like to try this? And I was like a little skeptical at first because I'd never heard of it. This was a few years ago, I feel like, when it wasn't maybe talked about as much. So I remember like going on your guys' website, like reading through like all the evidence-based articles, which I love how you guys put it all on there. You even like put on there like how it works, what does it do? And I find that like it's just so transparent, which is so nice. You don't have to like dig through, you know what I mean? Like all this stuff. It's just all right there. And so I was like, wow, I do want to try this. And I ended up trying it. And I feel like I was like a super like responder or whatever, because it literally works like from day one. And I have absolutely loved it. I remember when I got it too, I went through like a flare like a month or two later. And I remember I was like using it every single day, trying to get out of like these rebound headaches, and it worked. And so from then I've been like such a believer in it. I was like, this is so nice. It's so soothing.
Love it, love it. And what was your overall experience with the device?
Yeah, I think it's been really like positive. I like how it's easy to use. There's only like two presses of a button. So you're either going to prevent it or treatment, which makes it, just more user friendly. You can connect it to the app now, which I love because it shows where you're at. Because before you would kind of lose track of the time and you're like, how much longer do I have in this session? And now it's just so easy to follow along. Also, like the intensity, you kind of lose track too of like, where do I enjoy having it? So that's really nice too. You just kind of get all the data now. And then for me, like I've mentioned, it feels so soothing during it. It literally feels like my head's getting a massage. It distracts me from the pain. And then when the session's over, usually I have either like a decrease in symptoms or the migraine's gone. And then there's always that option to do it like one more time in the treatment. So yeah, I really enjoyed it.
I love that you were mentioning CC. One of
Yeah.
the biggest questions that we have is, what's the right intensity? Should I ramp it up all the way to the maximum level one shot? Well, it might work for you. We did see people getting to the highest intensity the first time they
Wow.
were using the device, which is pretty incredible. But you don't
Huh.
have to reach the highest intensity for the treatment to be effective, actually.
Hmm.
We do recommend starting really slow and stabilize the intensity when it feels comfortable for you, and then build your tolerance over time. So make sure, for whoever is watching, whenever you're using your treatment, especially if you're a beginner, start slow.
Hmm.
It can be painful, has to be comfortable for you. Lay down and use it as a massage treatment. Like I don't remember who said that, but I always remember this quote, this little joke that we made with somebody during one of our calls. Like, would you ever get up during a massage?
Hmm.
And it's the same thing. So make sure you're laying down and you relax and enjoy your treatment, and you stabilize the intensity. And the
Yes.
fun part is that now you can see the intensity with CC. So check
Hmm.
app for intensity and simply like log your migraine and your symptoms and your overall migraine experience, so that you can download it as a PDF and bring it to your doctor or store it for your records.
Hmm.
You were mentioning that you just had a baby, which is really, really, really exciting. I was wondering, how did pregnancy change your migraine symptoms?
Yeah. So when I was pregnant, it was funny. I first knew I was pregnant because I had like one of like the worst migraines ever. And I was like, I should probably take a pregnancy test. I'm pretty sure I'm pregnant. And I was, which I was really excited about. I've always wanted to be a mom. But yeah, during pregnancy, my migraines, it's a hit or miss. The people say they either go away completely or they get worse, or maybe they stay the same. You don't know until you try, right? And so I was obviously willing to take that risk. The reward at the end is so worth it. I love my little baby. He's 1 month old now. But during pregnancy, during the first trimester, my migraines just got like really intense. They got a lot more severe. There's not much you can do about them either. I was very transparent with my doctors about it. And they recommended obviously Tylenol. And I also told them about the CEFALY device, and they were totally okay with me using it, which was super helpful. But yeah, during pregnancy, during the first and second trimester, my migraines just got more intense, and it was kind of also doubled with like morning sickness. So that was like not fun at all. But once I reached the end of the second trimester and into the third, my migraines like stabilized back to normal. They became super mild, and I got like one a week, which to me just felt like just so like refreshing. It just felt like such a like a breath of fresh air. after I felt like I was like fighting, during those weeks leading up to that. But like I said, it's so worth it. If you're on the fence of getting pregnant, you don't know if you should while you live with migraine. Like I don't know, if you want to be a mom, I don't know. It's the reward is worth it, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I'm sure it is. And I
For
love
sure.
that you're sharing that with us. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Challenging because of your symptoms and everything.
Yes.
Ultimately, your baby is the biggest reward.
Mm-hmm.
What about postpartum? What are some of the things that you do in the postpartum phase to manage your migraine symptoms?
Yeah. So when you're postpartum, there's a lot more, I guess, like triggers. I don't know. I don't know why I never really thought about it until I've been in this stage. But like the sleep deprivation is definitely one of them. Like I probably haven't gotten a full night's rest since I was pregnant. Like, do you know what I mean? I've been up every 2 to 3 hours like clockwork. Having a good support system also helps a lot with that. But it's funny because when you go more than 2 or 3 hours without seeing your baby, then you start missing him. So it's just funny how like the mom, being a mom works. So either way, it all kind of works out. But yeah, so I didn't realize that there was going to be like just like a lot of like sleep deprivation and just you're going to be tired all the time, which in the migraine world, that can be like a huge trigger. I also just find that I'm not eating as healthy as like maybe I would want to be just because I'm glued to, an infant most of the day. So doing things one-handed can be challenging because every baby just wants to be held and loved. So then obviously too, it's like the loud noises with the crying and stuff like that. Thankfully, he's very chill. So he doesn't cry too much. And if he does, it's usually really easy to calm him down. But I guess I didn't really like think about it too much. I kind of just have taken one step at a time with everything. And to my like surprise, I've only been getting like one migraine a week. And usually like my husband's like super supportive during that time. I also just like, for me personally, I don't really want to take anything that's going to make me super drowsy because I want to be able to like wake up and like feed him if he's like wrestling and needs to be fed. So for me, that's been helping, or it's been helping a lot to have options like CEFALY because I know I can like use that. If I needed to, I could just like take Tylenol or Advil. Not my favorite choices, but it's like they're there if I need it. You know what I mean? And so reaching like for CEFALY first has been really helpful because it doesn't make you drowsy. Like that's one of the things I really also just like about it. So yeah, I hope does that kind of help explain it?
Thank God for
Yeah.
something, right?
Yeah. For real. It's been like my tried and true this whole time.
It's definitely good to have other options than medication. Like
Yes.
you always have the medication with you, like, you can always take Tylenol, but as I said before, there are other options that you can explore.
Yeah.
But that also leads me to let everybody know that if you're pregnant or thinking about becoming pregnant, speak to your doctor before using the CEFALY device.
Mm-hmm.
And also, we have a incredible customer service and medical team that can answer all your questions. So if anyone has questions regarding that, we're happy to help and answer all the questions and provide more material. But yeah, thank you so much, Michele. This was
Yeah.
really good. I learned so much, and I'm sure our community also learned so much from you. So yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope, you feel good
Yeah.
today. And congratulations again for your little baby.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. This was so fun.
Of course. Have a great day.
You too.